All right, let's go back to the other case for a minute. You pleaded guilty to solicitation of a minor for sex.
It was a plea.
Hello everybody, hey, hi, how you doing? Jay McCain here, coming to you with my extra week coffee for today's Coffee from TCAP. Today we're looking at Kevin Westerbeck, Change for the Better 2006. So let's get to the good stuff, shall we? Kevin comes out of the gate strong here. He peeks through the door like some sort of a Looney Tunes character skulking in the shadows, like just the way he opens the door slightly and sticks his head through. Is the coast clear? Alright, I'm coming through.
Okay.
Huh?
I gotta finish getting changed, okay?
And that screen name, Change for the Better 2006. What was he getting up to before this? Where this is considered change for the better. This is him improving his life right now.
Well, I'll watch it.
Just wait at the bar for a second. I gotta get on my way.
Kevin Westerbeck.
And I gotta go back here for a second. There's just so much right away with this one.
Watch it.
Okay.
Huh?
So the decoy is gonna say that she has to go and get changed. And Kevin has a great response to that.
I gotta finish getting changed, okay?
Well, I'll watch it.
Well, I'll watch ya. Just a total creep, 100% creepo, straight out of the gate.
Just wait at the bar for a second. I gotta get on my way.
Kevin Westerbeck walks in, and he's very short. And so I lean over the bar to talk to him, and I said, "Why don't you have a seat?" And he doesn't want to do it, but I said, "No, please." And so he jumps up on the bar stool. Hey, how are you?
Well, how you
Do me a favor and have a seat right over there on that stool, please.
Yeah.
He's like, I just sat next to him at a sports bar or something. We were talking about, a hockey game. And I said, "What are you up to tonight?"
Well, what? She asked me to come over and
Please have a seat. Relax.
come on.
And he immediately starts chowing down on these chips. Like, that is a nervous habit if I've ever seen one. Or maybe he was just hungry. Maybe he worked up an appetite with all that change he's been doing on himself. The Change for the Better 2006.
Who asked you to come over?
Destiny?
Destiny. And how did you meet Destiny? How did you meet Destiny?
How did you meet Destiny is kind of an ironic question. Because in a way, Kevin is meeting his destiny right now, because this sexually explicit conversation that he's been having is going to be his destiny. His destiny is to end up in front of a judge in prison stripes. His destiny is to be in handcuffs. That's what his destiny is, and he's meeting his destiny right now in the form of Chris Hansen.
On the computer, she said hi and stuff.
She said hi and stuff. And who? Do me a favor and just keep your hands out of your
No,
pockets.
fine.
Okay.
Chris wants him to keep his hands out of his pockets, just so he doesn't, grab a weapon or something that he might have in there. But let's keep our eyes on how many times he puts his hands back in his pockets during this.
Now, Kevin, you've had some contact with the law before.
That's correct.
Tell me about that.
This child, it was a child, I forget what it is.
Child solicitation?
So that's right. Westerbeck is a repeat offender. He's not only does he have a history of doing this, he's supposed to be in court on Thursday. He has an upcoming court case regarding this exact same thing that he's here to do today. So that's the change for the better, is being a repeat offender, I guess.
They said I came out to meet some girl, I guess.
So let me get this straight. You were accused of doing the very same thing that you're out doing tonight.
I had no intention of this.
All right, let's go back to the other case for a minute. You pleaded guilty to solicitation of a minor for sex.
It was a plea.
It was a plea.
Right.
It was a plea, and I pled guilty. That doesn't mean it doesn't count. Just because you pled guilty instead of taking it to a jury trial doesn't make it any better.
You pleaded guilty.
Correct.
And you got sentenced for that
In fact, it probably means you knew you had no shot.
plea, correct?
That's correct.
What then are you doing in this house? Less than a week before you're supposed to be in court and go to prison for doing the very same thing.
Stupidity, because I didn't expect this to be like that.
What kind of an excuse is that? Stupidity because I didn't expect this to be anything like that. What were you expecting this to be like? Were you gonna come over and play Twister? Were you gonna play Halo 3 multiplayer online and go home? You're here to meet a 13-year-old. What do you have in common? What are you gonna do? This person is home alone and you're here. And you didn't expect it to be anything like that.
What, it's my fault?
No, it's not your fault. I'm not saying that.
He told me at first he was just there to talk to the girl, to hang out. What's wrong with that? You know, almost challenging me as to why I would question him. And then I start to read from the chat log. She says, I like kissing. You say, would you get naked? I just don't want to get cold, she says. You say, have sex? Now, a moment ago, you told me this wasn't a sexually oriented conversation. That was a lie, too, wasn't it?
I was just talking.
Just talking.
Chat is chat. But showing up is showing up. And guess what? You showed up.
Chat is chat.
Chat is chat, but showing up is showing up. And guess what, Jeff? You showed up. And, you know, little by little, his story starts to fall apart. It would be fun, then, okay? You say, then I'm big. She says, really? Yeah, how? Then you give the dimension of your penis.
Oh man, how do I even talk about this? I don't know what I'm doing with my life anymore. How do you think he measured? Do you think it was strictly in inches? Did he do a volume displacement test with a graduated cylinder? Circumference? Fluid ounces?
That's not sexual?
Just BS talk.
Just BS talk.
To me it was.
Okay, so that BS talk got you sentenced to prison once already. And less than a week before you're supposed to go to court and prison, you are here in this house trying to meet a 13-year-old girl home alone.
I'm stupid. I'm weak. I'm this. I have no intentions of having sex with her.
Yeah.
I
How
know.
can you say that?
It's what it says, but I didn't.
Why should I believe that?
Because I'm telling you the truth.
Said the liar. At this point, he's got his story figured out. He just showed up to hang out. He had no sexual intentions, and he's going to continue with this lie throughout the entirety of this encounter. He's just got it figured out. Okay, I literally stopped and took a nap mid-project here. I think I got a little Westerbecked out, so let's get back to it, shall we?
You didn't tell me the truth when you answered the first 6 questions I asked. You lied then.
No, I didn't plan on having sex.
Well, come on. What did you plan on doing?
I was just gonna plan on meeting her, say hi, how you doing, and that's
Hi,
it.
how you doing? And that's it.
And that's it.
I just came over to say hi, how you doing, to a 13-year-old girl. That was it. I was just gonna come over, say hi, do a 180, go back to my car and drive home.
Before you're supposed to go to court, where you're probably going to be designated a registered sex offender,
Yes.
and then you're going to go to prison
That's correct.
for 11 months.
That's correct.
After pleading guilty to solicitation of a child for sex, you just figured, oh, I'm just going to pop in and have a nice little conversation with a 13-year-old girl. That's your story?
That is my story, sir.
It never fails during one of these investigations that 2 or 3 guys show up at the same time, and of course that was the case with Kevin Westerbeck. They're whispering to me that, you know, there's another potential predator about to walk in. I was just finishing with Kevin Westerbeck, but I didn't want to rush through it because it was an important interview. So I finished just in time. Westerbeck leaves through one door, and the next guy comes in the other door. Sheriff's Department.
I want you to take a seat in that chair over there. Black chair. The sheriff's office would take the handcuffs off and everything like that. Not one for the road.
No.
You understand what I mean by
I
that?
know exactly what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying. And that was not my intent. I learned my lesson the first time.
Obviously not.
No.
Right? Obviously not.
Well, I wasn't coming
You're
in
chatting
here
with the 13-year-old female about your penis size on the internet, and you drove about, what, an hour and a half to get here to meet a 13-year-old female in the middle of the night who you knew by looking at the chats her parents weren't home.
I love this interaction with the cop here. He's 10,000% correct. Just the audacity Westerbeck has to say that he learned his lesson the first time, and the cop just turns around and says, obviously not. He didn't learn anything. He didn't even learn how to do it better. What a fool.
Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
When the judge in the first case hears that he's been arrested again, for doing the same thing, he's, classified as a sex offender.
I am required in this hearing to make a determination as to whether or not I believe, based upon the facts presented, the defendant will commit future sex offenses. In this case, you've made it very clear, Mr. Westerbeck, as to whether or not you'll commit future offenses. This court will make a finding, and I make this finding beyond a reasonable doubt, that you are likely to commit future crimes based upon the evidence before the court today.
Obviously, I think the judge has it completely correct here. He was gonna do it again. He got busted, and he's going back to jail, hopefully for a long time. On that note, I've been Jay McCain. Hey, I just wanted to say real quick, I've been making fewer videos lately. That's because YouTube doesn't like me. It just really doesn't. So I'm trying to make fewer videos, but higher quality videos, and put a little bit more effort into the videos I do put out. So, until next time, I've been Jay McCain. Mind, body, spirit, harmonious resonance, be where your feet are. Stay water, my friends.